Abebe from Ethiopia, you are welcome to Straight Talk Africa.
Hello, I would like to ask a question to the Ambassador of Eritrea.
Go ahead, please. Could you please turn your television set or radio volume down because we're getting an echo on the line?
Yeah, my question is, I have two questions.
Go ahead.
First, the Ambassador has shown you a map with three lines. One, the Ethiopian claim line. Second, the Eritrean claim line. And the third one, in black, the arbitral decision. Would you please ask the Ambassador to show you, on the basis of the black line, where Badme is, and if Badme has been assigned to Eritrea on that map? That's my first question.
Mm-hmm.
My second question to the Ambassador is, his president is claimed to have said at one point that Eritrea's withdrawal from Badme is as likely as the sun setting in the east. And he is said to have claimed that Dalambasa and Alitana are sovereign territories of Eritrea. How does he respond to this now, that the UN has decided, that the arbitral tribunal has decided this belongs to Ethiopia? Thank you.
Thank you very much. And of course, he does not agree with you. You heard him. What about that black line on the map?
Thank you. And the voice sounds to me, Prime Minister Meles, to be frank with you.
Yeah, he
the
sounds like
is,
him.
Is him. Because I'm positive because I've met him so many times. So
that's terrific,
having the question coming from him, I'm also delighted.
That's terrific for Straight Talk.
And he is right. On the map, it doesn't show Badme. I mean, they have avoided. It doesn't show the entire, even inside Ethiopia, it doesn't show any of the villages.
Correct.
It's blank. But you have to collaborate this map with former Italian map as well as Eritrean map. That this line change, it doesn't even change a single comma. That is where it is. Second, you have to look at it. That's why I did quote the page 84. You don't have to go to the map only. Just 84, it clearly says in the previous paragraph, Badme town, Badme Warada, we have been administered, should be given to us, Ethiopia claims. And the verdict is clearly spelled, based on your claim, since we didn't see that, all this doesn't belong to you. They have passed the verdict. Anyway, it's not very good to dwell on this issue. Let's move forward.
What about the second question on the person you claim is the Prime Minister of Ethiopia?
Exactly. The second question which he raised on the sunrise and sunset issue is that it did rise up. Where does Badme belong? Is the sun has risen up. What he wants is a metaphorical expression. It's a metaphorical, you can say, even over my dead body, somebody would say. But that doesn't mean he's going to be dying like that.
Okay.
So given that reality, let us move forward. Yes, Ethiopians have gotten some land in the Central Front. We've gotten some land. We've gotten some land in the Eastern Front. They've gotten some land in the Eastern Front. But the major issue is the conflict for both people in the future. There will never be any pretext. Aggression or counter-aggression. Claim, counter-claim. It will be demarcated once and for all. Let's move forward. That's my point.
Let me ask you this question. You know that Africa is gearing towards forming an African Union. The leaders want to unite Africa. When you look at that, and you look at the borders that are colonially inherited, as you said, do you sincerely, if you were to talk to us from the deepest, better part of the bottom of your heart and soul, do you sincerely find it justifiable for younger people to die for something that colonialists just put together, just drew on the map?
I think you raised a very good question also, because I think whether Nkrumah, whether Sekou Touré, when they said African unity, they said first independence, then unity, voluntary unity. Now even also we're talking voluntary unity. There is a difference, yes, the colonizers divided. If you go to Burkina Faso and Ghana, you would see at the border, the same people.
That's right.
Sometimes even in Africa, even you say in one village, there you will find the wife in the other village, in the demarcated line.
Right.
In the other room you will find the wife,
Right.
in the other room you'll find the husband.
Right.
So I don't think we should dwell on that. That's why I say let's be visionary.
Obviously, your
Now it
situation
is
is not
demarcated.
unique because you have borders
Exactly.
changing, for example,
Exactly. So
in the center of Europe,
So
the Balkans.
we should, in fact, move on. We are all the poorest of the poorest, not only Eritrea and Ethiopia, but Djibouti, Sudan, Eritrea, Ethiopia. That's why they had the IGAD forum, so that they could move forward, integrate, because to be frank with you, none of us are exporters. There is no even competition. All of us are importers, major importers.
You are major
There
importers.
isn't even industry. 80% of our populations they sign with their thumbs. No, they don't even sign with their pain. So this is saddest.
You
thing.
produce what you do not consume,
Exactly.
and
Exactly.
consume what you do not produce.
Exactly. He talked about ASEP. To us, to be frank with you, ASEP is not really an issue because every port in that sector, Djibouti import, ASEP, Massawa, Berbera, Port Sudan, Mombasa, they are complementary. They are not competitive ports. They all serve certain sectors. So the ASEP is a service provider. A port is a service provider. Ownership, it belongs to Eritrea. Usage, anybody can use it. So when people raise in terms of Ethiopia is going to be landlocked, that is absurd to me because it will never be landlocked. Yes, ownership is a different story, but usage is what Ethiopia would use. The eastern sector, for example, the Ethiopian eastern sector will be using Djibouti, Berbera, and all these things. The western sector will be using Mombasa, maybe. Port Sudan, also the northwestern area. So all this kind of talk in terms of the ASEP issue is resolved because it's the sovereign state. But in terms of the second question he raised, in terms of detention and opposition, I tell you, brother, frankly, it is not an insult even to the government of Eritrea. The government, it's an insult to the people of Eritrea, which is injecting, because this guy could be, maybe his brother or relative might be in jail. Possibly he can have a grievance, again, he can talk. But to talk on behalf of the people of Eritrea, which he does not represent, for me, even to respond to him, it's really upset because the government is popular. It is the only country in Africa where a president goes to coffee shops without anybody accompanying.
Now
I've been to a lot of